So we are here today with Chicago's favorite podcaster, Kate Kennedy, owner of Be There in 5. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So tell us first, how did you come up with Be There in 5?
Yeah, it started from a place of the anxiety you feel when you leave your house in the morning and are like, did I turn off my straightener, my stove, my coffee pot? Like what, you're kind of rushing out the door and you get halfway to work and you're like, wait a second. And I felt that every day. So I saw it as an opportunity to kind of innovate on a stale category and make something called the Remind Door mat. My first few mats were turn off your curling iron, turn off your straightener. You're like really pretty. I thought there should be some that complimented you too, obviously.
For other people who are deciding whether to pursue their passion or not, what is your one bit of advice that you would give them?
Oh my goodness. I think a lot of people get talked out of doing things, out of great ideas and doing things they love because their friends and family, A, want to protect them, B, aren't your demographic, they're not your market. So as much as you can, separate the people in your immediate life from being an adequate cross-section for if your idea is going to land or not.
What are your best-selling mats?
Stop and Smell the Rosé. We have like bar-ish ones, like Dinner is Poured, Stop and Smell the Rosé, which are popular. Have the Best Day Ever is a big one. It's kind of a combination of practical reminders and affirmations. And I'd actually say that now I do way more custom work than I ever did when I first started and I was like piecing together how to get a word on a rug.
You have become kind of stepped out in front of your doormats as a personality on your own with your podcast, Be There in 5. Big fan.
Oh, thank you.
What kind of led you into the podcast realm?
I had quit my job. I had really scaled up the doormat business and I was kind of like, okay, what's next? Do I want to be a flooring mogul? Like, no. I always say doormats aren't my passion. They're the vehicle that enables me to work passionately. And I really believe that because I don't think you should pigeonhole yourself. Just because one of your ideas work doesn't mean that it has to define you. And the only thing I really know and I really love and really can speak to confidently is like pop culture. I'm such a sponge of information when it comes to what's going on culturally. I'm by myself all day, so even though I'm not talking to somebody, I really do imagine that I'm talking to a friend.
Well, you're not exactly by yourself because there is Tugboat.
There is Tugboat.
Who has also become very famous. Has it gone to his head? Is he okay
Oh, he's a monster.
with the attention?
Yeah, he's just, he's on a raw food diet, and it's getting out of hand. He is so sweet, and he really he's such a wonderful companion, and he's a great source of content.
So what is next for Be There in 5?
I was having one of those days where you hate social media, and you're just like...
We've all been there.
Oh my gosh, you're jet lagged. That sounds awful. And I was just like in a negative space, and I was like, I need to channel this elsewhere. And so I kind of took the exact opposite format of digital and took pen to paper and thought through like, what if there was like a handbook for how we use social media? What if, how is the next generation going to explain to their kids that you can be an influencer as a career? So in thinking through that, I wrote a poem called Twinkle Twinkle Social Media Star. The premise of the book is a mama bear is reading to her baby bear a bedtime story, but instead of reaching for a storybook, she reaches for her phone and scrolls through what I call Once Upon a Timeline, which is a make-believe social network for beloved nursery rhyme storybook characters. It's a modern millennial mama who's teaching her kids the best of social media world. And whether it's Little Bo Peep having a GoFundMe for her lost sheep, or Mary had a little scam in her pyramid scheme, or Humpty Dumpty's epic fail, egg falls off wall vlogs, the child learns how to behave on social media through these characters. And what I hope is that in the type of stuff I talk about on my podcast and on Instagram, that my listeners really understand what I was getting at, and that I've been kind of working toward this whole time in an organic way, and that I'm both a critic and a participant in social media, and I wanted to present it in a way that's irreverent but lighthearted, and it's not mean, and it's something we all kind of can relate to, but also be like, yeah, people do that and I so don't, but we all do it,
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
amazing
you.
news. And I know I, along with all of your followers, are still looking forward to that book, and we'll be sure to bring us a lot more laughs. And thank you so much for letting us into your life of Be There in 5 and your podcast, and we can't wait for what's more to come.
Thank you. Twinkle Twinkle Social Media Star, out in November.